Yes, the name of the show.
Episode 0, technically, but episode 1 of season 3 of Talktor Who. Thank you so much for joining us today, even without a video. Unfortunately, our video camera is being used right now.
He's otherwise engaged.
So, today's episode is Runaway Bride, season 3, episode 0, because this is the Christmas episode. So it's this episode between episodes. Light, why don't you go ahead and start us off with the little thing that you have there.
The thing.
The summary thing.
Indeed. The synopsis summary thing. The Runaway Bride. Killer Santas. Exploding baubles. Bubbles. Wow.
Bobbles, yep.
Odd font. An alien spaceship shaped like a giant star. Christmas with the Doctor is anything but a silent night. Written by Rusty Davies. Directed by Yoros Lin. Audio commentary with David Tennant. Solo, apparently. Just him.
Just him talking to himself.
Reading.
That sounds awkward. Audio commentary by yourself.
Well,
They should make an audio commentary with Sean Connery, because I'd love to hear him say Raknosh about 500 times.
that would work very well.
Boraknosh.
Now, it's unfortunate that there is no video today because we're trying something new in this episode, or in this season, where we only have 3 people at a time on the podcast.
Limited casting.
I am Lincoln Echo, yours truly. I am brought here with. I am
Joined today by.
I am joined today by Light, right in front of me, and Jax
Directly across.
directly across.
Just the 3 of us today.
We are still like in the same orientation as before, so if you can imagine what it looked like while we were having audio and video.
Or just watch one of the videos and put this audio over.
It's really
And then
what you
just
could do.
scribble out 2 people?
That's
Either
what you
way,
could do.
just bro time this week.
The women are here, but they're just upstairs probably drinking tea and laughing at us right now.
Quite possibly. Well, let's dive into this.
Trivia for this episode. Yeah, well, 15 minutes in. Let's get this started. Okay.
It'll go right through you.
This episode marks the first occasion since the return of Doctor Who in 2005 that the Doctor's home planet, Gallifrey, was identified by name. That's the true story. It took a total of 4 hours to transform Sarah Parrish into the Empress of the Rachnos.
Creepy.
I believe it. She's
actually-
wearing a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of things happening, but actually only 4 hours for that, because I've seen things take like 8 for that amount of makeup and that amount of what's going on.
Yeah. She even had like the sideways blinky eye thing too done, which I'm sure wasn't included.
I think the blinking might have been post.
It could
Yeah,
have
But-
been.
I'm sure it was close.
It could have been.
But yeah, interesting.
Interesting detail.
I think a lot of it's pre-built, and then they
I'm
just
sure.
painted her up a bunch and stuck her in a giant suit with a giant helmet
That's true.
and
That's true.
stuck her gross blade nubs on.
Rose Blade Nubs. Speaking of Sarah Parrish, she has co-starred with David Tennant in 2 other BBC One dramas. They are Blackpool in 2004 and Recovery in 2007. Although you wouldn't understand it because she actually has teeth in the other things that she's been in. Well, she has teeth in this, but
She has less teeth. She has fewer teeth and
has terrible teeth in
smaller
this one.
teeth.
For legal
Awful.
reasons, the production team made obviously fake banknotes for the scene, which money comes flying out of the cash point. The $10 or £10 notes feature the Doctor's face and the phrases, "I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of 10 satsumas."
It's a lot of money
and no
and a lot of
second
satsumas.
sentences. I'm that sort of man. The text is in reference to the Doctor's actions and dialogue near the end of Christmas Invasion. There were also £20 notes featuring Phil Collinson, and they had the phrase, "There is no point being grown up if you can't be a little childish sometimes," printed on them, misquoting the line originally spoken by the 4th Doctor.
So, do 10 and 20-pound notes come out of ATMs over there?
Apparently. Or maybe that's just what they used, I don't know.
No, maybe. I mean, not that I would know that they weren't real notes. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, well, whatever.
Whatever, yeah. I think it's
I'm
really
just
funny.
American. I don't know what their
They get
foreign
3.5
money looks
pound
like.
notes over here in the States.
3.5
No, I don't sing.
Okay.
We don't do.
Anyways,
We're Imperial.
Imperial. Okay, so Runaway Bride, what did you all think of this episode? I actually really liked it.
I do. I like this one for a Rusty episode. I like this one.
Yeah.
I-
We had a lot
I
of use on
have-
this Rust.
It's good recovery
Yeah.
after Rose. Like it's
Yeah.
it's nice. It's a good, well done, pretty fun episode for moving on, and he
Yeah.
does a really good job of that.
Yeah, I would agree. When I first saw this episode, I absolutely hated it because of Donna Noble.
Really?
Because she was so abrasive.
Yeah.
She was terrible. I hated it. And then later on you discover who she actually is, and then you grow to like her. And then the second time that I watched this, I'm like, oh, it's Donna Noble! I'm so excited!
Yeah.
I'm so excited to watch Donna Noble again.
And you can kind of see her beneath the abrasiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, which is really cool. I mean, really well done by her. I don't even know if she knew the trajectory of her character
Mm-hmm.
at this stage, but like really fantastic.
I don't.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I didn't see anything about this, but I wonder if they knew that she was going to come back at this point.
Who knows?
I would assume not.
I wouldn't think so. You wouldn't think they'd know a season ahead that
Yeah.
Right.
they'd
yeah,
be swapping companions that
That's
quickly.
probably very true.
Does Martha only last one season?
Yes.
Thank goodness.
If you didn't say it, I was going to.
Oh, she's all right. She's.
She's no Clara.
It gets worse. It gets worse. Anyways, but yeah, I, on the other hand, really like Donna immediately.
Really?
I am an abrasive person, in case you hadn't noticed, from an abrasive family. And
I'm just a
I don't know,
abrasive
after-
from abrasive family.
yes, I am. But yeah, I don't know. Like, we're the kind of family that yells at each other and hits each other because that's how we love.
That's called abuse, and you should get that looked at.
But it's so much fun.
Do you do it with like sock and boppers or knives? 'Cause
That's
the
called
difference.
stabbing, and is in fact different. No,
Hitting with
we're-
knives.
we're a physical comedy kind of a family.
Slapstick, very nice.
Hmm.
I've met your mother. That's very true.
How did you meet his mother?
That's a long story. I'll tell you later.
How many seasons?
10.
Gosh, has it been going on that long? Anyways, but yeah, no, I liked her. I thought it was a good transition from how very sad things were and how serious things were at the end with Rose, and it was just sort of a nice break. It's a very good distraction because you're feeling down, and then you just
That was a really good
sharp
visual.
left
That
turn
one we'll see.
and keeps you. He struck his hands together in a sliding forward action, like a rock skipping off the water.
Very nice.
This has been for the visually impaired.
I like the immediate transition as well. I really appreciate that they didn't spend like 2 episodes moping about Rose, because they have way too much of that.
They do that later. Yeah, they do that
He
later.
barely gets to think about Rose at all in this episode. There is a really good point there when she's like, "Oh, what's this? You hauling ladies off, you perv?" And he's like, "No, that's my friend. She's gone now."
Yeah, and I think that really adds a lot to the story to Tennant without dragging it on, like
Yeah.
you're talking about. I think that's great.
And he
Actually,
avoids it because that's what he does.
Well, there was a deleted scene where he actually takes that and throws it out of the TARDIS in anger.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. So, but they took it out for
Good.
because they thought it was too melodramatic.
Absolutely. They would have been like, "Pfft, what?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's dumb. It was dumb.
That's
I
dumb."
think his attitude in the beginning of the episode really captures me. I don't know. I really liked his buoyancy, his whole demeanor is really unique. He's bantering with Donna, like it feels like they got on right away.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I don't know, it faded a little bit more toward the end. I think they were going for like the brooding thing as he killed everything left of that species.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it still felt like he was a very different person at the beginning and end, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, I guess. Not sure if I appreciated it or...
Well, I like what Donna said at the end. Is I think that you need someone to stop you sometimes,
Yeah.
which is definitely something that comes back at the end of, was it this one or the next season? With Waters on Mars and stuff like that. Like he travels.
The Doctor Triumphant. Yeah, when he's wandering around by
Dr.
himself.
Triumphant, yeah. Like he wanders by himself and he gets too far. His God complex gets
Is
the
that-
better of him.
Is that after Donna?
Yes, yeah, because
Yeah, because it's right before he's having his little victory tour.
Yeah. So yeah, he gets stunned because of how that ended.
Mm.
And so he's like, I'm just gonna go by myself and do whatever, where the Doctor specials come in. And
Fix it.
yeah.
Mm.
And then that's the end of that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think that this episode was really good, and really the only thing that bothered me about this was the Arachnos. The entire how she was portrayed. Like, it was a good idea. It was a great idea, but I think it was too campy. It was too. They were trying too hard for it.
I think she could have been a little more devious and less like every line was
A
like
joke. Like she had a
bad jokes, but also like I don't know, the Daleks scream every line, and she kind of took that cue, and it wasn't great. She felt like a Dalek that you could see just all the time.
She felt like a snidely Whiplash, old school, puntastic villain where they're just like, ha 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 ha! Oh, let me laugh and make a joke as I slice the cords and drop you into the pit. Which
never,
which is nowhere near as deep as it should be.
Very true.
Speaking of the depths of the pit, so if the core of the planet is just some kind of alien ship nesting house thing, what is keeping the planet warm? Is it the ship? Is there a molten core around the ship?
We may never know.
Yeah, I mean, there's the big drill hole. And, I mean, granted, you probably wouldn't be able to see any amount of light from a hole that size. That's, what do you say, like 4,000 miles down or something?
5 meters wide, maybe. That hole.
Yeah, it's like, no, well, you wouldn't be able to see light, but I don't know.
Oh, I know that if light were to fall down there, I wouldn't be able to see him.
No, probably not. You wouldn't see him ever again.
I wouldn't be able to hear him either. That's kind of the point too, because they're all crying at the end.
Yeah. No, either they move really fast, or they're really loud, or there's some crazy acoustics in that hole.
That
But
could be
through
it.
the water, I don't know.
Yeah, probably not. You just-
Through the fire and the flames, their voice just carries on and on.
Be like that one Backstreet Boys song.
Through Fire and the Flames. Yeah, that was a great
Yeah.
song.
Oh, I love that song by Backstreet Boys.
Through fire and flames.
Oh, that's just an abomination.
I don't know.
Something was raining, but it wasn't love.
That one. Oh, the red-nosed reindeer. They must have the rights to that song or something because it's used several times, I believe, throughout the series, and it's so.
On all the
Oh,
Christmas
really?
episodes.
I've
Never heard it anywhere else. Maybe because I'm not British.
I haven't seen that. I have to pay attention to the next Christmas episode.
It's here. They may have used it in that last one. I don't remember, like the 1 year previous.
Now that you say that, I remember it from one of the previous ones.
But yeah, I only know that song because they play it every Christmas episode.
I guess I hadn't noticed.
Oh, that's funny.
I'll have to take note of that.
Yeah.
Who gets married on Christmas Eve, though?
Lame people.
It's
And Light's parents, apparently.
I have to say,
Or the
my
day after
parents got
Christmas.
married the day after Christmas.
Christmas post,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for people who don't like Christmas, that's a reason to like Christmas, I suppose.
I guess.
Christmas Adam.
Adam, not Eve.
Who can make it to it? I hope they didn't invite anybody from out of town.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
That would be terrible. The travel arrangements? Oh, those would be the worst.
No, thank you.
The
Especially
flights would be
traveling Delta
uber expensive.
Or United, or whichever one was.
United
I
Kingdom.
didn't think there was much flying then.
Yeah, maybe not. Well, that was in 2007, so yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
For Donna. I was thinking of my parents. I'm pretty sure they went about 10 minutes away.
Oh, they
By
traveled
car.
via hot air balloon.
That was about it.
Dirigibles, which are apparently always
Going
in
to-
alternative. No matter what happens, if anything in the human history timeline deviates, even slightly, dirigibles happen.
That's what we've learned from this entire Doctor Who thing.
Yep. Whenever it's an alternative future, alternative present, dirigibles.
Mm-hmm.
Dirigibles.
Why not?
Why not?
Led Zeppelin just got
It's-
crazy popular.
it's-
and that was the
It's the same, but slightly different.
In this universe, the dirigibles are made out of pizza.
In this
But it's still
universe, there are no safety standards.
And they're
Dirigibles
still
are
all made
just
out of
there.
Helium, hydrogen. That's the one.
One of those.
Anyways.
The one that burns.
Only nothing bad has ever happened to human race by burning hydrogen.
No, never. Never ever. Anyways.
Speaking
I
of
think-
things burning.
Oh, you still have more? Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's the core of the planet.
Uh-huh.
That's where these things are, right?
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, one way or another, either a molten core or some sort of heating element on this spaceship is what is keeping the planet alive, yeah?
Okay.
And apparently magnetized. Like,
Yep.
And then they just dump the entire contents of the Thames down this hole to flood out these spiders. I mean, down comes the rain, washes the spiders out. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
apparently the planet is fine after the core is extinguished.
Of course. Well, okay, so if you think of it like molten lava going into the ocean, granted that's a lot more water, but like what happens first is that like the lava gets a crusty core, or crusty surface first, because the inside
Like in Terraria.
crusty crab.
The crusty lava surface is the surface that saves us all.
Well, because if the core is hot enough, then just the surface gets crusty.
I
and
guess.
the rest of the water is on top of it.
How are the spiders getting out of there then?
That's a good question.
Come on, Russell.
One of the spider ship arms reached up this channel and
This
out of the
dug.
core. Unless
Spiders are
have you seen
lava
all
proof.
those
They sleep in lava.
Journey to
That's
the
about
Center
the
of
only
Earth
way.
things? Like,
Which was referenced.
it's just dinosaur gas that keeps us warm.
So, good old dinosaur farts.
That's it. Anyone with the
Fossil
most-
fuels.
Journey to the Center of Earth movies. I thought for theming, like the Doctor's interest in the bigger picture is something also that comes up quite a bit, and I actually thought she made a bigger deal out of it in this one. Like, oh, my family's not part of the bigger picture, but I think that's left to later people, and I think Donna brings it up later too. But ignoring like wounds and ignoring like individuals for the common good is something they really
Very communist.
Very
they
Grindelwald.
didn't have that as much with like Eccleston and Forward, but here it really starts becoming a theme, I think, with him.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see play out in this next scene. Well, what scene? Season. Because Martha is a doctor.
Yes.
Like, literally. Not
Legitimately.
legitimately.
She has her
A doctorate degree
yes.
in doctor
Ness.
thing.
She idolized her cousin.
She's a medical doctor.
was an engineer. And helped
For Torchwood.
Yeah. Her
Her cousin.
her cousin was in robotics.
Yep.
Or robotics were in her cousin.
Well, typing. She had a degree in typing. Just. I mean,
and
that's what she
and
did.
sneaking off for a snug.
You don't need a degree in that, but okay.
What? I wasted 2 years.
I'll bet you're really good though.
How to snag. Crash course. Anyways, okay, so if no one else has anything, we'll go ahead and end on that.
Yeah, no, that's
Can I
about
say
it.
One more thing.
I like-
one of my favorite moments that I remember for some reason is in this, and it's just looking at that start of the Earth. Like the concept of like looking for the first rock, looking for that one, and that whole scene I thought was really beautifully done.
Yeah.
Aside from the stupid web ship thing, but
Yeah.
And the way the doctor looks down his nose whenever he's being impressive.
Yeah. That too.
just like looking out those doors at the start of the Earth, I've always found that super inspiring. So that's the one moment from this episode. I'm like, I love it.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do in a situation like that where it's like I was presented with this is how the Earth formed.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Huh.
I know. Now I know. But yeah, awesome. Okay, so this has been. That was Lexi.
She's eating a moose.
This has been the Runaway Bride. Join us next week for Smith and Jones. the first season, or first episode of season 1. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you, Lexi. Thank you. And we'll see you next week.
Join us next week when you won't have to hear anything going, my children!
From that the whole time.
Yes.
Bye, everyone. See ya.